guys, so this week we are kind of expanding on our knowledge of 3D forms. So we know that a shape is 2D, like if I draw a square, it has height and it has width, but it doesn't have depth. It doesn't go back that way. If I draw a cube, a 3D form, it's got height and it's got width, height and width, but it also has depth back this way, right? So that's what makes it a 3D form. And we know how to draw all of these. We've had plenty of practice at it. Today we're going to be expanding, and we're going to start with basically a cylinder, and we're going to turn it into a cake with a slice missing, which is really fun. So this is going to be the quickest demo you've ever seen Mrs. Turner do, because I don't want to show you how to decorate your cake. You guys need to be creative and unique in your cake decorations. So I'm just going to teach you how to draw that simple form in case a video is more helpful to you than just looking at the picture steps laid out, okay? So normally when we draw a cylinder, I always tell you guys to start with the little flat pancake at the top. We want to make sure it's really thin and doesn't look like this, right? And then 2 lines come down from the side of it. And then our bottom is another flat little pancake or just a curve, right? So that's how we know that. We know how to draw a cylinder. But today I'm going to be drawing a cylinder a little bit differently because the lines that I'm going to be drawing are going to help me with my cake, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a really big square. Okay, and I want to make sure, as always, part of using our best craftsmanship is filling our paper super well. So I'm not making a cake that's like this tiny and then I have all this background space to fill in. I want to make sure that my first square is big enough to fill most of my paper. Okay, so now I have a really big square. You can use a ruler or a book or something with a straight side to draw this if you want to. I'm just kind of freehanding mine because I know I'm going to go back over it with marker later. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is we're going to draw our 2 little pancakes on the top and on the bottom of our square, okay? So again, we don't want to make these huge. They're supposed to be nice flat pancakes. So I like to go around and around until I get a shape that I like, which is why we're using a pencil first, right? So now the top of my square is going right down the middle of my flat little oval right here, my pancake as I like to call it. So I'm gonna do it the same on the bottom, and I'm gonna go around and around until I get a shape. Oh, could you try again? Wasn't talking to you, Siri, until I get a shape that I like, okay? So now it's really starting to look like a cylinder, except it's a square instead of a rectangle. Now you can make a rectangle if you want a taller cake, but for just kind of a normal stacked cake, I would recommend doing a square and then doing your 2 little ovals on the top and on the bottom, okay? So now what I have to do is I'm gonna find the center point of my cake, and you can either measure side to side and then divide that in half, or you can just kind of eyeball it, and you're gonna go right down the middle, connecting this top line of your square with the bottom line of your square. So I'm gonna go right down the middle and connect those 2 lines with this vertical line in the middle. So now your drawing should look like this. The next step that we have to do is we're gonna draw out our slice. So the wider your triangle is, the bigger your slice is gonna look. The tinier your triangle is, the smaller your slice is gonna look. So I'm gonna go kind of in the middle, and I'm gonna go like this on the top, and then this on the bottom. So my line doesn't go like this on the bottom. It goes down still, my triangle. So now it looks like this. And then all I have to do is connect this point to this point and this point to this point. And then I have some erasing work to do, right? So we hardly ever want to start a project with pen in art. We always want to use pencil first because we're gonna erase things out if we made an oops. But for this project, it's especially important to start with a pencil because we've got a lot of these little intersecting lines that we have to go in and erase. So I'm gonna erase out this side. I'm gonna erase out both of my middle slices, but I'm leaving that line in the middle and those lines on either side, okay? So I'm just erasing out the things that I don't wanna see when I have my cake. And then once you have this basic form, you can go in with markers, you can go in with paint, with crayons, with colored pencil, and start decorating your cake how you like. So you could add some toppings, some candles up here. Maybe I would do like little dollops of icing all around the side. Maybe I would choose some sort of like layered look for the side of it. Remember that even if the outside of your cake is solid, like it has icing all over this part, the inside of your cake is gonna have some layers, some stripes, because this is a really tall cake. So what you shouldn't do is draw your line straight across like this, because again, that doesn't help it look three-dimensional. You wanna follow the angle of your triangles that you made up here for your line. So if you're using a ruler, you can lay the edge of the ruler along your triangles and then just slide it down so you get that exact same angle. You can also do that with a pencil. So I'm gonna slide my line down, or even your finger. Slide my finger down so then I have that exact right angle for my layers of my cake, okay? Now, when I get ready to color in my cake with a slice missing, we want to make sure that we are using our value skills to shade in our cake, no matter what material we're using, right? So if I'm using crayons or colored pencils, I'm picking a direction that the light is coming from. So say it's coming in from this way, and this is going to be the lightest area of my cylinder, and then the area that's furthest away from my light source over here is going to be the darkest side of my cylinder. And we remember that we shade cylinders in almost like a stripe, right? So if the light's coming from this direction, this might be the lightest area of the top of it, and then it gets darker as it moves this way. But for the front of our cake, this would definitely be the lightest area, and then it's just going to gradually get darker and darker as I move back this way. So if I was coloring in my whole cake purple, like it's got purple icing on it, this would be almost white, and then I would get darker and darker purple, and then this would be my darkest area of purple. Remember, we don't want to do just a dark, medium, light area. We want to do as many values in between as we can get with pressure, okay? So keep that in mind. That's going to help your form look three-dimensional. We know that already. So we hope you guys have a lot of fun kind of expanding your knowledge and experimenting with your use of forms to make this super cool slice of cake. We can't wait to see how you personalize it and make it your own. Don't forget to share your artwork with us. Bye.